Kids First C tutorial number 5, a complete guide from nothing to basic understanding of C by Victor Wong. So this is just another one of the tutorial number 5. So hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Overview. In this tutorial, you're going to learn what are operators. So let's learn, I guess. Yeah, let's do it. Let's learn operators. Where are we? So we should probably know what we're doing, right? Operators are very useful for many things and can help you do some simple functions. So let's elaborate on this. They're very useful for many things. Okay, that's kind of obvious. And they can help you do simple functions. This can assign, maybe reverse a condition, add and equal again, or something like that. These are just some things to help you, and they're mainly used for variables, but they can also be used for different things. For my example, int num1 equals, that's an operator, plus is an operator, minus is an operator, and times is an operator. Of course, they don't have to be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, but that's the idea. They just help you to do things, which is quite useful, I guess, for doing many things. So, yeah, operators can help you use simple functions such as arithmetic, or they can do other things. Arithmetic is just one category of them. But let's dive into let's get a list of them so we actually know some are operators. So let's start with the most basic one, I think, arithmetic. They are operators for calculations. In this example, we have total equals item price times item count. So this is just a calculation type, which is quite useful. Let's see what some of them are, right? So, a sample list, plus, minus, times, divide, remainder, plus, plus, and minus, minus. So, these mean add, subtract, multiply, divide, get remainder, which means it's kind of like the divide, except it gets the remainder, increase value by 1, and decrease value by 1. So, the plus, minus, times, and divide, you just put them in the percent, you put them between the two, like the example above. For plus plus and minus minus, you put it after the variable name. And let's don't get confused. Plus plus I versus I plus plus. If I plus plus is bigger than 10 versus if plus plus I is bigger than 10. This seems no different, but it actually is. If I plus plus means I bigger than 10 is done before I is added by 1, or if plus plus I is done before it is bigger than 10. So let's pretend I equals 9. Well, is 9 bigger than 10? No, in the first example, because it has not added the number yet. If 10 is bigger than 10, well, that's better, but it's still not there. But if I was 10, it would actually make a difference. If 10 is bigger than 10, no, it is not. Is 11 bigger than 10? Yes, it is. So be careful for this. Don't think they are the same. They are different. Let's learn assignment operators. Yeah, they're obviously for assigning. That's kind of obvious. I plus equal 2 is the same as I equals I plus 2. Let's get in further detail, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. A sample list. Equal plus equal, minus equal, times equal, divide equal, and remainder equal. What does this mean? Now, equals you already probably know in the variables. It just assigns, the variable tutorial. For add, subtract, times, divide, remainder, and those assigns, pretty much it just helps. It's more like a shortcut, I can say. So I plus equal 2 can be written as I equals I plus 2. So pretty much they're just trying to shorten it. So it just takes the variable before any operator is done. It adds or times, subtract, or whatever the operator is, then a certain number, and then it puts that value back into the original variable. So quite useful, right? Yeah. A times equal B is the same as A equals A times B. That's just an example of times, and as you can see, saves some time. And this A divide percent equal B is just getting the remainder. So then get A remainder of the B. So it's going to do division, get the remainder, and then A equals that remainder. So it's quite useful. Saves you some time. So these are very useful, but they're more like shortcuts. So remember that. They can be used or do the same function in a different way, but they're shortcuts. Well, let's learn logical operators. So these operators assist with decisions. That's why they're called logical, right? Logic decisions, similar things. If age is bigger than 0 and age is smaller than 120, put some valid input. In this case, the and is a, guess what it is? Logical operator. Yeah. They are the exclamation mark, the double line, and the double and, or the first one, reverse condition. Pretty obvious. Put it in front of any if, like for this parentheses, put it in front, it reverse condition. So it'll make it backwards. Logical or, logical and. Logical or means that if any of the two conditions, so you put it between two conditions. If any of these two conditions are true, the statement becomes true. Logical and is a similar thing, except both of them need to be true. Otherwise, it will be false. If both are true, the statement is true. Relational operators, similar to logical, but they help in a different way. What do you mean by different way? Let's get some lists and some examples. They are equal, exclamation equal, bigger, smaller, smaller equal, bigger equal. So equal pretty much means it's equal. So it like is one variable equal to another variable, something like that. Not equal to kind of reverses the condition after the equal to part is done. Bigger, just like your old math, if 7 bigger than 5, oh, that's true. Smaller, reverse of bigger. Smaller and equal, self-explanatory, it can be equal. Bigger or equal, self-explanatory, can be equal too. So that's relational, and it's a pro tip. There are more operators, but for this tutorial, we're not going to cover those operators. Yes, there are more operators, but we're not going to cover them. If you want to learn them, check another tutorial. So MISC operators, these just mean operators do not fit into any category. Size off, we actually covered this before. Return size of variable. Example, size off int. We covered this before, but in case you did not watch it or you forgot, it returns the size of a variable or a data type. And address of a variable. So int start ptr equals address of a number. The and symbol is used to get an address, not the value. This is quite important, and we covered addresses before. Star. This is where it gets kind of confusing and out of this tutorial's purpose. Pointer to a variable or access the value of a given address. Int star ptr int value equals star ptr. This just talks about pointers and either point to a variable or access the value at a given address. This is quite important when we get into pointers, but for this, just remember it has to deal about pointers to variable or access the value at a given address. That's it. And question equal. This is kind of like a substitute for if for some reason you don't want to use if. Int big equals a bigger than b, question mark a, b. So the first part is a bigger than b. If it's true, a will be the whole entire value of the statement. Otherwise, b will be the value of the whole entire statement. So that's another type of operator, and there's not many MISC operators, but those are the four. Operator precedence. Yes, some operators are done before others. Like multiplication done before addition, it's very important to remember this when you're using operators. For example, plus plus, star plus, bigger than, and. What this means is that, well, it's kind of self-explanatory to a limit. Operators are some evaluated before others. Well, that's kind of a basic statement. An example of a list of this is plus plus, which is increased by 1, star or multiplication, plus addition, the less than, which is another type, and the and, which is a logical. Now, remember this, and this is not the full entire list. Obviously, there's a bunch of operators I'm missing here, but this just gives you the general idea. And plus and it's like plus and subtraction are at the same precedence. But just remember, some operators are done before others. So don't get confused why your and is not done before your plus is done. Just remember that. Parentheses are also first in the precedence. So sum equals 10 times 2 plus 3. Just as the order of operations, the value will not be 10 times 2 is 20 plus 3 equals 23. Instead, it will be 50. 2 plus 3 equals 5. 10 times 5 equals 50. Remember that If you have a problem and you need to raise the value or you need to raise the precedence of an operator, just put on parentheses. It'll raise it to the top. Yay! Finally at the end, the task. This one, it's always about operators. Print out anything that is related to operators. Okay, in this example, we have print out the number is %d / n, num1 equals plus num2. In case you're wondering, it will say the number is 15 because 10 plus 5 equals 15. Just do something like this. We have an example in case you don't have one, but try to do something different from this. Don't try to copy all the stuff we have here. Let your imagination go wild.